Apex Trader Funding rebuilt their entire product earlier this year, and most of the reviews you'll find on YouTube are still describing their old version. So let's clear it up with the current rule set straight from Apex's own docs. Monthly subscriptions? Gone. The MAE rule? Gone. The 30% consistency rule? Replaced. If a video you watched mentioned any of those, it's describing the old Apex. This is the current rule set. 2 drawdown types, 2 purchase modes including a no activation fee option, 100% off your first 25,000 in cumulative payouts, and the single biggest scaling ceiling in prop firm trading, 20 funded accounts running in parallel. I'll walk you through the accounts, the drawdown mechanics, the payout ladder, and the one rule a lot of reviews gloss over. Each funded account runs a 6 payout cycle, and after the 6th payout, that account completes and you must re-qualify with a fresh evaluation. It's right there in Apex's docs, and once you understand it, it actually shapes a smarter way to use the firm. I'll show you exactly how near the end. Let's get into it. So what is Apex now? Apex Trader Funding is a futures-only prop firm out of Austin, Texas. You buy an evaluation, trade CME products in simulation with live data, hit the target, and move to a funded performance account called a PA. On March 1st, 2026, Apex shipped a full rebuild they call 4.0. Everything in this video reflects that current structure. We're talking one-time fees, no subscription, no monthly billing, no auto renewal, nothing recurring in the current product. And you now choose how you pay. A standard mode with a lower eval fee but activation fee upon passing, or a no activation fee where you pay more upfront but owe nothing later. End of day trailing drawdown is now an option. The legacy intraday trailing model still exists, but you now pick your drawdown engine at checkout. Payouts are now automated and processed fast with no manual review, no screenshots, and no subjective denials. And the number behind the brand? A 4.3 Trustpilot rating across roughly 20,000 reviews, one of the largest review bases in the entire space. Now let's talk about the accounts they have to offer. There are 4 account sizes, a 25K, a 50K, a 100K, and a 150K account. Each size comes in 2 flavors and you choose them at purchase. The choice is permanent, so make sure you choose the right one for you. The first type, end of day trailing drawdown. This is where your drawdown floor recalculates once per day at market close based on your closing balance. Nothing you do intraday moves the floor, wick into profit, give it back, it doesn't matter. Only a new closing high moves the needle. This is something we have always been asking Apex to do, and it is finally here. The trade-off? End of day accounts carry a daily loss limit. It's a soft breach, so if you hit it, you're paused for the rest of the session, but the account survives and you can always trade again tomorrow. The other option is the legacy intraday trailing. This is where the floor chases your peak equity in real time, including unrealized profits. Print a new high mid-session and the threshold tightens immediately and permanently. 2 things to know on that trade-off. First, the intraday evaluation has no daily loss limit, so during the eval, your only guardrail is the trailing threshold. Once you're funded, the intraday PA does carry a tier-based daily loss limit, same as end of day, so don't assume that no DLL freedom carries into the funded account. Second, intraday evaluations cost roughly half of what end of day does at every size. Both paths land in the same funded structure. Keep 100% of your first 25,000 you withdraw, everything else after is a 90-10 split. Now let's talk numbers on the 50K account because it's the most popular size. You have a profit target of 3,000, a trailing drawdown of 2,000, and a daily loss limit on the 50K end of day account of 1,000. Quick note on the DLL, the end of day eval and both funded PAs carry a tier-based daily loss limit, and the only place there's no DLL is the intraday evaluation itself. Here's the end of day math. Start at 50,000, floor sits at 48,000. Close the day at 5,500, the floor moves to 48,500 overnight. The next session enforces that floor in real time, including unrealized P&L. Touch it for even a second on intraday and that account liquidates and closes. Losing days never move it down, only new closing highs move it up. Now the safety net and the lock. On a funded account, the trail stops once your highest end of day balance clears the starting balance plus the drawdown plus 100. I know, it's confusing, but here, let me break it down. On the 50K, that's 52,100. From that moment, the floor locks at 50,100 for the life of the account and never moves again. Your starting capital is permanently protected. Apex confirms this directly in their drawdown documentation. Now let's talk contract limits, because this is worth knowing up front. Funded accounts run fewer max contracts than the evaluation, and you scale into them in tiers based on your end of day balance. On a 25K, you can use a max of 2 contracts. On a 50K, you can use a max of 4. On a 100K, you can use a max of 6. And on the 150K, you can use a max of 10. If you built your sizing around eval limits, just be sure to retune it the day you get funded and you'll be all set. Now for the rest of the rulebook, just be sure to be flat by market close every day. There's no overnight holds on any account type. News trading is allowed for your normal strategy. And straddling both sides of a news release to gamble the outcome is prohibited. Copy trading between your own Apex accounts is allowed. One leader account can drive up to 19 followers, and that's what sets Apex apart. Copying anyone else's trades, however, is a bannable offense, so do not do that. So you passed your eval, and now you're in the funded stage working towards a payout. This is huge. Now remember, to request a payout on Apex, you need all 4 of these. 5 qualifying trading days. Now this ranges from $100 to $350 depending on the account and drawdown type. Days also don't need to be consecutive, so there's no deadline to complete them. However, 5 qualifying days in a week does mean weekly payouts are on the table. There's also a 50% consistency rule, so no single day can be half or more of what your profit is since the start of the last payout. This applies on the funded account at payout time, not during the evaluation phase. You must also keep your balance above the safety net. Now, again, that's the drawdown plus $100 over the starting balance, and it holds for the life of the account. On the 50K with the 500 minimum payout, the practical minimum balance to request is $52,600. Now that $500 is the minimum request on every size. And now the payout ladder. Apex caps your maximum request per payout, and the cap steps up as you complete more. It's not a clean, straight climb, so look at the real table. On the 50K, it runs 1,500, 1,500, 2,000, 2,500, 2,500, and 3,000 across the 6 payouts. The 100K and 150K step on their own schedules, while the 25K is capped at 1,000 flat every step. And here's the part that should shape your entire Apex strategy. Each performance account runs a 6 payout cycle. After the 6th, the account completes its cycle and you start fresh by qualifying for a new evaluation. Apex states it plainly in their payout documentation, so there's no surprises here. It's just how the program is built. Once you know it, you plan around it. Now, like I said, Apex restructured the entire checkout, so ignore any pricing you've seen in older videos. Here's the part that a lot of reviews don't lay out fully. The product list isn't 4 accounts, it's 16. It's the 4 sizes, each at 2 different drawdown types, and each at 2 purchase modes, the no activation fee or the activation fee. Every combination is its own product, which means you can dial in exactly what fits to how you trade. The 2 modes are the one choice that's worth slowing down on. Standard mode, cheaper evaluation up front, then a one-time activation fee when you pass. Promo codes apply to the eval, not the activation. Just activate inside the window and you're funded. No activation fee mode. The evaluation costs more, but the activation fee is 0. Since the entire price lives in the eval, your promo discount applies to all of it. Now here are the real current eval prices straight off the checkout and what they become at the 90% promo tier using code PHUB. Now again, notice intraday runs roughly half the price of the end of day at every size, and the no fee mode costs more upfront because you're never paying activation fee later. The decision rule is simple. If you pass your evals consistently, buy the no fee, because at a deep promo, the whole thing gets discounted and you never owe activation. If you're newer and still burning through evals and learning, buy standard, because a failed standard eval costs you almost nothing and you only owe activation fee when you pass. Now for those looking to scale, Apex now offers 5 packs. This means you can buy 5 evals at the same time at a volume discount. This is built for traders who want to copy trade and eventually build up to that full 20 account stack. Now speaking of 20 accounts, let's talk about the potential. Every prop firm caps how many funded accounts you can run. TopStep and Tradovate let you run 5. Apex let you run 20. And it's not 20 accounts you manage by hand. The copy trade setup lets 1 leader account fire trades across up to 19 followers. We're talking same entry, same exit, multiplied. If you have a proven edge, this is the math that makes Apex stand out. And the 6 payout cycle is exactly why it matters. One 50k PA runs up to 13,000 across its cycle, then wraps. Runs several PAs on the same trades, and each one carries its own full 6 payout cycle. That per account structure is genuinely generous, and the model rewards traders who treat each account as its own clean run. One thing to keep in mind, so you scale smart, each account still has to satisfy its own consistency rule at qualifying days, and a single rough strategy day touches every account at once. So prove the system on 2 or 3 before you fan it out. The ceiling rewards discipline, and that's a good thing. Now when buying an account, you have 3 platforms to choose from: Rhythmic, Tradovate, and WealthCharts. Rhythmic is the speed pick if you run NinjaTrader or Sierra Chart on top of it. Tradovate is browser-based with TradingView charting and works on a Mac. Now remember, you lock your platform at purchase and can't switch mid-account, so pick deliberately. Now if you're still deciding between end of day or the intraday accounts, let's break down exactly what kind of trader you are. If you hold trades through pullbacks or sit through unrealized profits, choose end of day. The floor only moves at the close, so intraday swings can't clip you. You take the DLL as the cost of the protection. If you scalp fast and realize profits quickly, consider intraday. The trailing floor has nothing to chase if you're in and out, and the eval is cheaper. If you're new to Apex, consider an end of day in standard mode. The cheap eval means that failure costs you almost nothing while you learn the safety net, the qualifying days, and the ladder. If you've got a proven system, buy the no activation fee mode. Stack end of day accounts with the 5-pack and scale towards the 20 account ceiling as each batch proves out. Your pass rate is what makes the no fee mode the cheapest path. Now that's it. That's the current Apex Trader funding rule set. Talked about your choice of drawdown engine, your choice of fee structure, including the no activation fee path, 100% on your first 25k in payouts, and the biggest parallel scaling ceiling in the industry. Now, if you want to get the current best active discounts, make sure to use code PHUB at checkout. You can also click the link in the description below. And if you want to watch us trade futures and options live, showing full P&L on screen, nothing hidden, that's PropHub. Make sure to join the Discord, also linked below. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment, subscribe for more breakdowns, and I'll see you in the next one.